I'll be calling on you.
Yeah, of course, yes.
We have roll call.
Counselor Lehman?
Here.
Counselor Matthew?
Here.
Counselor Larson?
Here.
Counselor Kuechly?
Here.
Mayor Swanson?
Here. We'll begin with the budgets for the departments. The fire department is first. I don't know, Josh, if you need to speak to it, we'll just let Diana.
No, if you have any questions, you can ask them. But the fire department budget, there's a slight increase for this year, mainly for extra money in uniforms to start getting turnout gear. They're in need of replenishing and getting new turnout gear. So we increased that line item, and that's where the slight increase comes from for that. We are definitely far below the 2014 budget, so we're still trying to keep it down there.
Good.
Looks good.
The fire station, that is decreased by $750, and talking to Josh, we decided to get rid of the telephone at the fire hall. Everybody has Josh's, the fire chief's number.
The state, St. Louis County, they have myself, Ted's, actually everybody in the department, so I've never seen that phone used. We don't give that number out because nobody's there.
Okay.
And it's, you know,
Serves no purpose. All right.
So we're gonna go ahead and cancel that line, so.
All right.
Slight savings there.
Yes.
The recreation budget, that is staying the same at $25,550. The wages for winter and summer labor, that increased just because the minimum wage increased to $9 an hour. So what I did was look back a few years in the history and kind of average out how many hours were there for the winter and for the summer, and came up with that budget number. Insurance slightly increased, about 7%. Nothing new in the budget. I mean, everything is status quo as far as the events, the porta potty rental, the insurance. We do have the security service because we do have monitoring at the beach, so that is the same. I don't know if Judy, do you have anything to add to that?
No, we're the same. I think we've been this now for 5 years.
Yeah.
All right.
Campground, the main expense there is the porta potties. We have 2 at the campground now, so that's the main expense. And there's a little bit in there for repairs, for any maintenance repairs to the land, or if we need anything leveled out. Or
I would have a question.
Yes.
You said the main expense is the porta potties. Isn't that listed on parks?
No.
On our budget?
No.
Well, what do we have for other rentals?
The porta potty at the park.
That's $1,000 for one?
It's
It's a handicap accessible?
it's a handicap one, and it's not $1,000. It's $555
For the season?
for the season.
And that's May, June, July, August, September?
Yeah, the handicap accessibles are quite a bit more.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're a little bit.
thank you. I always thought we paid for the ones at the campground.
No, the campground have their own separate budget.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Senior Center. There's a slight increase again, and mainly for utilities, you know, electric, gas. We did put some in there for repairs of equipment. I know this year we had some dishwasher repairs and stove repairs, and I'm not exactly sure how old the equipment is there at the senior center, so I just thought we should have a little bit in there for moving forward.
Very good. All right. Community center.
Community center, you can see it's quite a bit more than the previous year.
Because we agreed to go in.
We agreed to pay all utilities for the whole entire
Great.
year,
Yeah.
all 12 months.
Take that burden off of them.
Yep.
Did they ever get back to us about what that ice plant was gonna cost?
No, I
Never got
haven't
back
heard.
to us on it, huh?
Haven't heard anything, so. And then just the insurance and cleaning. There's a, the telephone there doesn't have long distance on it, it's just, I'm not sure how often that is used, if that's a necessity anymore, or,
Well, that number down there, a lot of times, especially if there's a bond spill going on,
Yeah.
they call quite a bit down there on that phone.
that's what I kinda thought, it was definitely
Yep.
used a little bit more, so.
I wonder if we couldn't do better on that, though.
That seems
I
like a
mean,
lot.
we've got a phone with a router, and we pay $25 a month.
It's been going up every year.
And I don't see why they would need a business phone or anything like that.
Yeah.
We maybe should look at
We'll look
that.
into that.
Diana, do
Yeah.
we have MediaCom anyplace?
No,
They don't service any of it? anything? Oh,
so,
okay.
no.
I have phones for $9.95 a month, so that's why.
Okay.
We'll have to look into
Yeah, that's
some
awful
other
expensive.
providers and see.
Good idea.
All right.
And then Lake Leander, we have to have insurance and then fees for the county.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that fees for the county, what is that for? That
It's the, waste service. Like, everybody has to pay it. Here in town, because we provide garbage service, it's part of the fee. The county gives it to us, we pass it on to the residents. If you don't have garbage service in your town, it's on your property taxes.
Right.
And that's what that 180 is the waste service fee.
Very good.
Thank you. Very good.
Report from department heads. Public Works. Hi, Trent.
Howdy.
Been busy?
Oh, yeah. We got that street light that was taken out last fall. Got that hung up, wired. It's working, so that's good.
Up on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah. We started hauling our screenings. Actually, we just finished hauling our screenings for salt sand. Hopefully the salt's coming soon. We can mix it together, and we just went through the alleys, touched them up. Getting ready for winter. Get rid of potholes. Recycling bins, I'm sure you guys have all noticed, they moved Friday, and then earlier today, the cardboard bins were also moved over, so everything's now behind the steam plant. And then last meeting, you guys asked me to look into the citizens' request at the ends of Jones. And I found that the boulevard was kind of lower where the water had been going into the yard, and so we filled that in, dug out, there was a hill where we pile the snow for spring melt, and so that was kind of pushing it that way too. So we took out the hill so it goes into the creek and built up the road a little bit with mill feed, and hopefully it should work.
See what happens.
Good.
Do you get a chance to talk to a homeowner?
Yeah,
They happy with it?
I didn't have anything against it, so haven't heard anything yet, at least.
Good.
I talked to him when we were working on it at the time.
Somebody just mentioned to me yesterday about some of the potholes out at the old sewer plant where they go to dump all their brush and all of that, that there's a
Yeah, we
couple of
can-
potholes, if you want to take a look at it
I
sometime,
was just throwing
Trent.
some,
I just thought of it
the
now.
road's really
so-
hard to scrape, so we'll have to
Yeah,
bring some material in.
okay. All right.
Madam Chair, is that drain down there? Is that?
That is open.
Is it open?
Yep.
Does that go into the creek?
Yep. That's straight shot right to it.
Have you looked at that one on the end of, downhill in Pennsylvania? Where that alley comes out and goes by the creek? That one there is full of gravel.
And, I questioned that one a while back, and I was told that's collapsed. So that's okay. It is the way it is.
Is it something that should be fixed, or do you think it doesn't affect anything?
I don't think it really affects anything.
Okay.
It's just still kind of just straight shot down to the creek. Just takes the road.
Okay. Thank you, Trent.
Okay, thank you.
Fire and ambulance, Josh?
Well, on a good side, I won't be asking for money tonight. We got, two of our newest members actually started their EMT class tonight, so they're doing that currently. I'll probably run through the early part of the year, so. Should work out well though, because then we should have some daytime staff come summer, so that'll help.
How are your staffing numbers, Josh?
It fluctuates. We had a powwow at our meeting last night about it, so we're sitting with 15. We did have one guy take a 3-month leave of absence, and with that 15, we still got a couple that are just on the cusp of not making their percent, so.
Okay.
It fluctuates, but right now we're sitting with, over 10 for the ambulances, pretty good, so.
And that includes people for daytime?
Well, no. No, the daytime is still a stickler. We do have one guy that's laid off right now, so that helps, but it's like any time it's, sooner run out of town, and that's when the pager goes off, so.
Did anything ever come with the discussion down here?
They haven't, and I actually did talk with Deb today, and we I know they had some staffing issues there that they had to get back on track before they could worry about branching out, so.
Okay.
Definitely still in the works, just sounded like it was gonna work really well, and it ended up hitting a little speed bump there, so hopefully that'll be something that we can see in the future too, because that'd be quite beneficial for us.
Sure.
Currently, we're sitting with 178 calls, ambulance calls, right now this year. Out of that 178, we've covered 148. So today we've given up 30 to Chisholm so far. I think last year it was 50, so if it stays at this pace, it'll be pretty close to the same. But like I say, we're trying to cover what we can, and Chisholm's there, providing us mutual aid when we can't, and the agreement with Chisholm is still in place, so everything should be good there. Still working on that grant, so it might be another month before we actually see a 12-lead monitor, but the timing was almost humorous because we were looking at purchasing one, and out of blue I got an email 2 years after we submitted for that grant and were turned down. They found some extra money, so us and 2 other services that I know of will be getting 12-lead grants, or 12-lead monitors free of charge. So that'll be taking place, and we'll get everybody trained in on the rig as soon as we get them.
Very good.
Any questions? It should be seeing the hydrants will be getting painted here hopefully before November. Census to Service do that for us. We bought some paint. And you guys might hear questions about how come they didn't color code them, because hydrants need to be color coded. They will be color coded. They're just not going to be the big colors that they are now. They're all going to be red, and then the steamer caps, what we use to identify, will have the color codes. Okay. So just in case anybody's like, oh, they didn't color code them, they are color coded. Some cities have gone to it, it looks way better. So.
Sure.
So yeah, that'll be hopefully done before November, and that's about all I got.
That sounds good. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.
Engineering?
Just the agenda.
All right. Attorney?
I have nothing tonight.
All right. Long-range planning and zoning?
January.
All right. Recreation board? You submitted your minutes. Anything else you want to add?
Well, we did make the recommendation to hire rink supervisor.
Okay.
And I turned that in to Mike last week.
Okay.
Scott was the only one that applied, so we met, when did we meet? Monday night.
That's not on our agenda tonight. Could I have a motion to approve that appointment, that hiring?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the hiring of Scott McIntyre for the rink supervisor.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. All right, BEDA, end of the month?
End of the month, Wednesday.
Yeah, and Sheriff is not here. Council additions to the agenda. We'll have a couple. I would like to have a little discussion about our City Hall roof, and then also to discuss Mike's retirement date. Anybody else have anything else? All right. Citizens Forum, do we have anybody who wishes to speak? Oh, come on, Carrie. All right. Consent agenda, minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of our October 6th meeting.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Claims?
I'll make a motion, we accept the gross payroll for pay period number 21.
Support.
Total. Are you gonna make that two motions and the total accounts payable as well?
Oh, yes, for that pay period 21, which is $11,071.37, and accounts payable for $109,684.30.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, our first agenda item is South Memorial Drive project. At our last meeting, we had decided to hold back some funds for further discussion. John, you want to address this with us?
I did look into a little bit more. The actual completion date was August 1st, and they actually did the paving on September 11th, so basically that was 41 days over the contract completion date. And based on in the contract, liquidated penalty amount to $500, that adds up to about $20,500, so that's kind of the numbers we're talking about.
Right. Well, I think they did a very nice job over there,
Yeah,
but there
they
was
did.
just a lot of frustration when you delay that long and when you've given residents a heads up that a project is gonna happen, and I think that was the root of where we were coming from.
Yeah.
Are they aware of this? Do they know?
Yeah, when they called, they got their check and they kind of called what was going on, and I told them,
Yeah,
the position there that, you guys were late, and they agreed, they acknowledged that they were late. They had their excuses, but I mean, that's, that's not, we got a contract with a completion date on it, so.
yeah.
Is there something we can do in the future to try to, or even like a letter from the lawyer for future projects that, saying that kind of this is the last chance type?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of times when we have contractors who poorly perform it, they're on the list, if you will, and it needs to be considered for future projects. I mean, that's.
I wouldn't even say poor performance on a deadline, but I mean, the job looks great.
Yes,
it
does. They do good work.
It's just the almost 2 months past completion that.
It's really unacceptable, and just wouldn't want to see them in the future thinking, well, we can slide on Buhl. So if we can maybe send them a letter and let them know of our discontent with the completion date.
Yeah, and also what Mike had written here in our deal, and he is right to what he put in here, we could run into some problems by withholding.
Well, it's contractual, so yeah, you could end up in a battle over it, but, contracts are signed for a reason.
Yeah.
And you set an end date for a reason,
It's
but.
not like they had bad weather to do it.
No,
either, so.
no, we had a beautiful summer. They
Very nice.
probably were just overextended with other projects.
My thoughts is that actually they know how we're thinking about this right now. My own feeling would be to pay the rest of this, but let it be known that next time we will absolutely not put up with it.
We won't be as generous. We just wouldn't be.
If you offered them half.
We will enforce the.
Right at the beginning of a project, we always have a pre-construction meeting. That was always, we go over the schedule, and ask them, is there any issues with the schedule? And I think more of the problem also was that they started it and then they kind of left town for a period of time. If they weren't going to start till middle of August, and use the 2 weeks to get it done by September 11th, you know.
And even the
That's much more
communication, John,
manageable
the
than-
communication was so poor. If they would have called City Hall and said, you know what, we can't start this month, at least we could have given the residents a heads up, you know, don't worry about parking in back, they're not coming yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that would have even been an issue if the end date would have been a month later, had we known that.
It was inconvenience for the people living there.
That's it. And I have to say, they were very patient about it over there too. So, John, do you recommend that we pay this bill in full?
And that is pay estimate 1, and that, you know, we still have retainage on the project. There'll be a second pay estimate because they did complete the sodding work.
Okay,
And then we have 5% retainage, which is about $4,000.
right.
So what's the exact,
Did we already pay them the 50?
50, so it would be 27,153.03.
is that right, Jim?
I'll make the motion, we pay him the 27,153.03 to complete the pay estimate number 1.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you, John. Resolution 1530, a resolution approving the amended constitution and bylaws of the Range Association of Municipalities and Schools.
Yeah, that was the Rams board. They went through and changed their bylaws and updated them, and now they need for the cities and
The schools,
townships and schools to approve
the bylaws.
and then I'll be going to that meeting on Thursday night.
Okay.
I'll bring or we can fax it or email it.
Yeah, I think it said you can fax too, the ballot.
At the beginning of this year, you, I think, expressed well what I also was feeling about whether this was a relevant organization anymore. It seems like some of the reorganization has some promise to it at this point. I don't know how many of these types of organizations a city needs to be, supporting.
Oh, and then, yeah, that's our new, we got the new executive director for Rams.
Right.
He is very outgoing, wants to meet with cities and townships. So he's gonna be coming here and talking to the council about Rams, and it's been
Mr. Georgie?
Mr. George.
Yes, yes. I really think that we have to hold them to a standard like we've done with our other lobbyists, where they need to come to us every year and give us a grocery list of how we've benefited by them.
I agree.
Because if we can't see that they're relevant to our community, there's no reason for us to be a part of them. But with the reorganization, this sounds like it's moving in a better direction than it's been for a very long time.
It's very chaotic.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
A lot better now.
And a lot of work has been done.
This
Groundwork for it now.
Organization's been around since 1939.
Rams has? Yeah, I was only aware of it when Frank Angaro was here at Buhl with it.
And they used to have a spot in the old bank, but then
Yeah.
now they moved to Mountain Iron
Right.
and stuff, so.
That was our first strike against us. Our first strike against them, when they moved out of town.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept resolution 15-30.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed,
Roll
motion
call?
carried.
Do you need a roll call?
Oh, you do,
yes.
this is a
Oh, yes.
resolution.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Matthew?
Yes.
Counselor Larson?
Yes.
Counselor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Aye. And another resolution, 1531, a resolution in support of the Iron Range Brownfield project and grant application. Well, we discussed this a little bit, I was asking Diana, what exactly are the
Yeah.
brownfields?
Yeah.
Because you wonder, up here,
It's contaminated soil.
wherever it is. And
We don't have any sites this year, but basically they're just asking for our support of the project.
I'll make a motion that we accept resolution 1531.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Counselor
Aye.
Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Matthew?
Yes.
Counselor Larson?
Yes.
Counselor Keithley?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Aye. All right. Annexation. I am wondering if this board would like to move ahead to proceed with the annexation of the east end of Buhl. And if so, we'll need a motion to do that. It's also been recommended by Mike that if we are going to do this, that we have a committee of two to meet with our city attorney and clerk. So we'll take this one step at a time, first of all.
I'll make that motion for annexation.
Is there support?
Support.
Any further discussion?
I guess I'd like to see a little more on it.
Anything that the committee would find, they'll bring forward so that everybody stays informed as it moves forward.
Are we gonna set up a committee or?
That'll be the next step then, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried. Next we'll be setting up a 2-member team to work on this project, and I would like to do
I would
that.
also like to do that.
Would that be all right with,
It's fine by me, because I don't have a lot of time during the day, so.
okay? Do we need a motion to set up a committee too, Diana? Do you think we should?
I think so, yes.
I'll make a motion that Mayor Swanson and Councilor Larson go on the committee for the annexation.
Is there support?
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right. As you are aware, Kids Peace has a loan with the IRRB, and Mike is suggesting that we meet with Senator Tomasoni. I know I would like to meet with him as well.
Well, I brought it up to him that day there in the office, that if we could get, being that he's a board member.
Sure.
And get him involved and get him behind.
I wondered if you had maybe talked to Mike
Yeah.
about this. Would you want to sit in on that meeting?
Certainly.
All right.
And see if we can't maybe get him to persuade him, even if they did so much on the dollar, or if they could
Right.
do the whole full thing to forgive that loan. So we could go forward.
Sure.
Then there wouldn't be any more excuses from the north, so.
Hopefully that would move things, this whole project forward. Is that agreeable with the council?
I'll make a motion that we, the mayor and Jean have a meeting with Tomasoni about the Kids Peace.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. This is this just a heads up or no? They want to actually set a date for it as Saturday, August 5th, 2016 for the 2016 bike tour at Stubler Beach.
This gal wants to get things ahead of time. and get it
Yes.
done, so
Hey.
that's-
It would be in the morning, like around 8 to noon.
Yes, again, yeah.
August, what was that date?
It's
August
August 6th. Nothing like advance notice.
Anything else planned for that?
That's done.
Not yet.
Well, we can have, during our meetings and stuff, we can have reminders
Yes.
of the date coming up.
Can I have a motion
Oh,
to
yes. I'll make a
set the
motion
space aside for this?
that they can use Stubler Beach as a rest stop for August 6, 2016.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, I wanted to discuss the roof just a little. There's been a little bit of leaking up there again. I was up there about a month ago and there was a puddle, and a couple weeks later it was still sitting up there. I mopped it up, but Mike had Trent go up and take a look at it. Trent, could you speak to this a little bit for us, that,
Well, I believe it was Norm. Had asked me to put bags over the vents up there and.
on the
take them
roof?
off. And then, I don't know, there hasn't been a problem since.
Now, I know initially-
The vents.
Mike had thought that it was coming from the side, the water or something.
Yeah, we're thinking maybe from size of the building, I don't.
You
No
went
one
up
really
there and
knows
looked
yet.
in there though, right?
You can't actually, the only way that we could, the best way to actually probably look is either knock out one of the boards and poke my head up there, or get like those telescoping cameras to get up in the boards and figure out
Where it's coming from?
Yeah, where exactly it's coming from.
Well, I think we really need to find out before we end up with a spring thaw and who knows what happening up there.
So you covered the vents and it hasn't
We'll
happened?
have to look into that. The town hall
Haven't really
meetings.
had much rain.
It rained once, but it wasn't a lot of
We
rain.
might find out Friday.
Yes, we're gonna have a lot of rain coming up before the weekend here.
So
Okay.
So if we could get
test.
a
Are those vents
telescopic
into
camera, that'd be good.
that attic or?
Yeah, I don't really know what
Was
it's.
it brownish water
There's a
again?
special name for it, I
You know
don't know
what,
what it's
Gene,
called.
it's water.
I don't,
Just
I
sits up there
personally
and
don't
doesn't
believe that's a
come
problem,
up.
because
So
I can
all of
actually
that
get my head up
from
into
the
that
flooring
space.
is what's causing
And it
it.
looks completely dry.
It's all raised in the
Yeah.
water, I would
And
think.
it's just because
I'm
it's
not
sitting.
on the
sold
floor,
that that's the problem.
If the water sits there long enough, the rain's gonna pull it
There
up.
was some talk about this before, and somebody said that, I thought said that the, where it meets the
Dormer?
the corner of the, where the porch area or whatever that area is what maybe was leaking before, but
Yeah, I know John Marcus was always, thought that was the problem for many years, but
Well, we had it re-roofed and then, yeah, now to have this little problem,
that's probably,
We need to
that
find
problem's
out.
been there since I've been here.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
getting worse and worse.
When they
Yeah, a couple
redid the roof, did they redo the sides? That facing around the sides and
Put
stuff?
trim on the outsides,
Okay.
just on top, but nothing below.
And they came and looked this spring, didn't they? And said it was not the
It
roof.
wasn't.
it was not the roof, right? So
And you did put bags in on the vents, you said, or, okay, let's see what
See what
happens.
happens.
with this rain now, if you'll keep an eye on that and if you could can you get a telescopic camera and go up and
I
take a
can
look?
look into what it'll take to rent
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Perfect.
that would be
Like
good.
a plumber, maybe.
Boy, if we can find out this fall before we end up with a real problem in the spring, make sure that we got it taken
You
care
could be
of.
holding an umbrella down in the office.
Yeah, yeah.
Buckets everywhere.
We don't need any more deterioration.
No.
All right, thank you, Trent. And the other item is Mike's retirement. Our city clerk has informed us that his last day of work will be October 30th. So a week from Friday will be Mike's last day. We're sad to see him go. He's done a good job for our
Yes.
city. But we wish him well.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
when was- And we have a party for him, is that gonna be, you know when that is?
I think we're not having any big, he didn't really want that. So I think we'll just stop up when you can on Friday and wish him well.
Yes, I will do
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Would it be possible, excuse me, would it be possible to just have cake here?
We've discussed all of that and with him.
And he said no.
I think there may be some treats for anybody who does stop up, but we're going to keep it very low key
Okay.
in his, respecting his request. So, yeah. Okay, thanks, Judy. Anything else? Have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. This meeting's adjourned.